to the big dogs, you know, the educational speeches that empower us with knowledge we never knew. Not that the previous two speakers have not shared information about your journey is your journey. It's not about getting there that is important. It's about being in and understanding that your journey is different to the next person, and it's okay. You will get there eventually. As well as take a leap of faith. It doesn't matter the failures you go through or failures you think you've gone through. It's the end goal, the success that you feel, and the gratitude you will encounter and feel when you understand it's okay. I could have failed. I probably did fail by quitting, but because I didn't quit, I became a chartered accountant. Or in my case, I became a second-time mom when I thought I was done because I was scared to die in the operating room. But I am blessed with a second child, so it doesn't matter. It's okay. Your journey is your journey. But our next speaker in Toastmasters is a DTM. But outside in the world, he is a cybersecurity expert, an author, and a hobbyist of writing, photography. Ooh, I've seen your pictures. And I must say, when I pop into those statuses and I see the pictures of the sunset, and I'm just like, I feel empowered watching your pictures. Our next Toastmaster DTM Dan Mukendi, will be sharing about security risk on smartphones and smart TVs. We all have those, so let's listen in and hear what the risks are out there and what we can do to prevent ourselves from falling into the pitfalls of smartphones and smart TVs. Dan Mukendi, DTM.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, you leave here knowing one day you walk out of the room, or maybe not you, let's choose somebody else, a mythical person. You walk out of the room and that person looks for their phone and they can't find it. How annoying is that?
It happened to me once.
What about if you see yourself on the internet? Somebody was recording you in your family setting while you were watching TV. And everything you said, it's somewhere on the website. Let alone what you were wearing, let alone who knows. Wouldn't that be embarrassing for someone to lose their privacy that way? So I'll tell you a few stories, and hopefully I don't scare you, because cybersecurity, when we sell cybersecurity, we just look for the worst thing possible. You know what? You will lose so much. And then everybody's so scared, and when you're scared, you don't know what to do. Right? But I'll tell you stories because you'll be able to relate with what happens to people. And in that way, you can take one or two ideas and plant them in your mind. That way you know how to protect yourself. So I will start with a story that's close enough to cybersecurity, but you understand the context. So I'm leaving the organization decided to give everybody a smartphone, right? And they allow them to take the contract the company had and transfer it in their own name. So I'm excited. I will have a new contract, possibly a new phone. I go to a service provider and I tell them, I want to take on this contract. Guess what happens? You have to provide your information, right? Your ID, 3 months pay slip, you name it. Excited, I give it in. And I get a phone call. Did you apply for a contract? Yes. When is it going to be approved? We'll call you back. Then after a few months, So I walk into the service provider, say, no, your contract has been declined. And a few months later, I get a phone call saying, hey, you haven't paid for your smartphone. So clearly your information is valuable to someone. So those in the, the service providers, I don't want to name them, but you know them. Some of them, they'll take your information, you apply for one smartphone, they apply for two. So in the world out there, there are people that are interested in your information. So in cybersecurity, we have the CIA. Who knows the CIA?
Not the American one, right?
Yeah, not the American one.
Oh, we don't know that one.
No. So we have the CIA. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Those words sound big, right? Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So in my case, my information was available to a company that should have access to that information. Because I mean, when you go to, you know them, you drop your information, they should have it because they need to do your credit check. Now the problem was that they transferred that confidentiality to another organization without my permission, and that was a breakage of confidentiality. So cybersecurity tries to cover all those three elements. Keep information confidential, meaning if you're not supposed to have access to it, then you shouldn't have access to it, right? Integrity and availability. Let's talk about availability. That's the cell phone idea. You have it, it's taken away. And cybersecurity is also about availability. So in cybersecurity, they have what they call the DDoS attack. We love acronyms. Like the accountants with the CAs, right? Everybody loves, the doctors have acronyms, we love acronyms. So DDoS is distributed denial of service attack. And that's where smart TV comes in. So you wonder, why would somebody want to hack my smart TV? Just to watch me sitting like a couch potato watching Netflix. But your smart TV is a computer. It is a full-on computer. It's got a processor, it has memory, and when I want to, let's say Theo has got a big business, maybe this is a prophecy, who knows, he's running a major business, right? And somebody is his competitor. I want to sort of try to take advantage, I want to bring down your business. So I sent all the TVs, all the smart TVs in the world, go and access his website. Now the real customers, when they come, they can't access your website because all these TVs are connecting to your website. And you wonder, who's trying to buy it? So your smart TV is a computer. Because if you've used them, you see you can download YouTube app, you can download Netflix app, you can download this app, and all of those apps are actual computers. Some of them have got cameras, and who's interested in the camera in your smart TV? The perverts out there. Because if your smart TV happens to be in your bedroom, they want to capture something that they can post on a website and make money out of it. It's got a microphone. Okay, I know most of you guys are not that important that somebody wants to record you, but if you were the president of the country, right? And you're discussing business, somebody wants to know about it. So what do? If you've got a smart TV with the camera, they usually will advertise it. They'll tell you you can use your smart TV to have Zoom call, etc. You can take a piece of paper and a tape, block it. The beauty about cameras is that if you block the lens, they can't see anything. If you have features where you need a microphone, you can switch that off those features, and some TVs will allow you not. You can go in the settings and say, I don't want to record sound. And it has happened that people find out that when the rumors go into the office that your video has been seen on a certain website. Right? Hopefully it doesn't happen to any one of us. So we look at the CIA. Confidentiality, somebody's accessing your camera without you knowing. And availability, somebody's using all the smart TVs going around and hurting somebody else's businesses. Right? And integrity. Integrity is interesting because if you look at home affairs, you look at your financials, you look at anything like that, somebody's interested in changing the values. So if I want to bring in a gangster in South Africa to sell drugs, he needs an ID, he needs a passport, but there's no way I'm going to go to Home Affairs and convince them to give them a passport. So if I can access the Home Affairs system and give him a passport, give him a birth certificate, give him a name. Have you seen some of the people from Asia? Okay, and they look at the name. Jungle 9. When did this guy? He was born in Pakistan, for example. I'm just using an example, and you know the names are different, right? Or somebody looks Asian. It's got. You look at the ID, you're like, something went wrong. So somebody forgot to change the name or something. But you know it's real, right? So integrity is like changing that information. With accounting scandals, you know people go in, they change values, they put the wrong financials in because there is a benefit. Maybe somebody's getting a big bonus, something happens. Integrity becomes a big issue. So let's look at some of the features you've got on your cell phone that marry cybersecurity. So you want to access your bank account, what happens? There's something that you know and the bank knows. What is? It's your bank account number. There's something that you know, the bank knows how to verify, it's your password. So that gives you two things you can use. Now, in cybersecurity, we want to build on top of that, right? We want to check, is it something that you have that you can use? Your smartphone, right? So we now figure out that you've got your smartphone with you. If you and the bank agree that the smartphone is something that you only has, so we can check this third thing. Do you know the bank account number? Yes. Do you know the password? Yes. Do you have a device that belongs to you? Yes. So if you can add one more thing, you're more secure. Most smartphones can actually look at your face and know it's you. Right? So they can look at your face, they're like, yes, it's there. So you've got one more thing. You can even add on top of that. Your location, where are you? Are you in Gauteng? Are you in Cape Town? Are you in China? Are you... So in cybersecurity, we call it a multi-factor authentication. It's multiple factors about you that allows us to know that it's really, really, really you. Why do the banks do that? You know why?
Well, basically to protect you as the customer.
She works for them.
Protect you as the customer.
Why do the banks do that?
To make sure that the person who's accessing the profile is the real person, so they
Yes,
ask
because-
those extra questions.
The real issue is not, it is to protect the customer, but think about it. You've got 5 million rand in an account. Somebody takes it away unwillingly. Does the bank lose? So now those funds are gone. So look at cybersecurity, you have to see the mutual benefit. So if the bank is insisting, we want this, go for it. Take as many factors as you can. If you're on the app, the bank says, you want to scan your face. Yes, please. Because if you lose your money, the bank also loses. And if the bank loses too much, they won't pay you back. They won't help you. The banking is it's about risk, right? There's a run on bank. So if all the money is gone, everybody's money is gone. There is no money because you're lending and you're coming back. So cybersecurity is about, that's what you do. Think about it, mutual benefit. If you are selling, you are Pick and Pay and you're selling, you've got Pick and Pay ASAP or Checkers, all of them. So if you give them information and they lose it, and then if they attract their customers, they've got less customers. So always work, think about both sides, the enterprise and you. So we've touched on smartphones, both as a means of security. We've touched on smart TVs and how they're used to attack other people. And we have entered into companies and corporations. Right? So companies, what is it about? It's about risk and reward. So as a cybersecurity professional, when I go to a company, I want to make sure that the amount of risk you're taking in, cybersecurity-wise, and what your shareholders want, it's always, there's a measure. And if you're in a certain industry, the government will come and impose, certain things on you. In financial services is where you have to report, you have to tell them what's going on. But that's the idea. Right? In mining, we've taken out the code, we put it on the pile, we've shifted to Escom, we don't care if you hack us, the code is gone. You know, it's different, each industry is different, but the idea is risk, reward. And the shareholders really look at that. They'll see how much risk are you taking on cybersecurity-wise. In the financial services, more stringent. In mining, a little bit less. Right? And you can choose which way you go. So which one of you wants to be a cybersecurity professionals now? Yeah, there we go. So clearly, it's like your security guard. You have to know your guns, the approach, how people get into a system, and that's how you become a professional. So you have to secure, you have to understand IT, you have to understand computers. So I'm going to open the floor for some questions, because I think I wanted to make it high level enough, but practical, so you understand where it's coming from. But I'm sure you have questions somewhere in the back of your mind about cybersecurity. So feel free to, yes?
About two.
Yes.
My first question is, we went to a bank last week to change signatories, right? And the one individual, they couldn't actually verify him to Home Affairs.
Yes.
What could have happened there, or what is the risk of an identity theft in that situation?
So this is what we spoke about, the multi-factor authentication. So the bank wants to make sure you are who you are. So they're relying on a third party to provide that validation. So of course, Home Affairs is a big target of fraud, right? And unfortunately, a lot of people want to come to South Africa. So one thing could have happened is that somebody at Home Affairs switched fingerprints. Right? So they got somebody in and they just use their details. So that's one thing. So when you connect, it doesn't match. Okay. Next level, it could be the device itself. The device is not. So what you typically would do, you would go to another branch or you would go to another device. Verify if the device is not malfunctioning. The worst case would be that person has got something dodgy about their password. So it was never captured properly, right? But it's a pain, right, to go, that's called identity theft. So if somebody can steal as much of who you are as possible, that's one of the most painful things you could ever go through. Because you have to go, every time you go out, you have to prove, and then, I'm sure, please, believe.
Okay, so that's the first one. And the second one, how do we protect ourselves against public networks? Because most of us, I'm sure we've been to hotels, restaurants, and they've got free Wi-Fi. How do we protect ourselves?
Okay. Good. First question is, if you go to public bus stop, how can you protect yourself? If you go to Cape Town, Cape Flats, in the art of where crime is, how do you protect yourself? If you go, so certain things, like if you go there, you're in trouble. You don't control the devices, you don't control who else is in the room with you. You don't control anything. So the advice I usually give you, have a VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network. So it's something that your computer knows how to connect to, and it creates encryption, which means it hides the information, so nobody else around you can see it. But there are things that can be done. Somebody can have a man-in-the-middle attack, which means you think you're going to the VPN, but somebody is there to see anyway. So if you're in a public place, it must be the last resort. It happened to me. I was at the airport, whichever country, overseas, and I desperately wanted to connect to my email. Connected, I did everything I needed to do. I sent the emails. The next day I connected my own email when I'm back in South Africa. Everything is deleted. Everything is gone. And I thought it's like a top Europe, I think it was in Europe or in Asia. It was like, you would think, and these guys are so advanced, you would think.
You were safer in South Africa.
Yeah. So, but that's the point, right? You can trust. Maybe you can trust. You know, look where you are, right? Maybe if it's Starbucks, maybe I don't know. Some brands they want to keep the thing, but rather have your phone and connect through your phone. Rather have your own device and connect through it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Dan. I think from my side, so unlike in, the corporate setup where we've got security teams that takes care, of our network and make sure that everything is protected, how can we make sure that as individuals in our own homes, our devices, laptops, TVs and cell phones are protected? What measures can we put in place as an individuals to make sure that we don't become victims to these attacks?
Very good question. So, when you buy a device, it gets updated once in a while. So, depending on the brand, some brands are very good at keeping the device updated. Right? Have you been on your phones and it tells you?
It's time for the update. Yeah.
How many people have had a TV tell them it's time for an update? You've got good TV.
Mine never.
Never.
Well, I have to update certain apps, but maybe it does it in the background. But
maybe not.
Maybe not. But I've got a smart TV. That's what
So you have to, usually on the menus, it tells you,
The update.
check, you can go check for update. Right? Update is key, because update, it renews your system so that it's actually quite good. Do you have a phone that's more than 5 years old?
Mm.
No.
I do.
I do.
I do.
The chances, if your phone is more than 5 years old, it doesn't receive updates anymore. The chances are, if you've got a laptop that's got Windows 10, the chances are you're going to not have updates. So it's expensive to be completely safe. Because you have to buy the right TV, you have to buy the right phone, and then you have to hope that all the guys who made the phone will update it constantly. Right? So if you've got a phone that's more than 5 years old, like mine, but mine is an iPhone. So if you've got an iPhone, I think they do 7 years, 7, 8 years.
7, yeah.
Updates. I think Samsung, Google, and a few of them, they've decided they will match. They will go like 7, 8 years of updates. So I'm not just bragging. I'm saying it's my job. Right?
They're currently not there, but they're doing 5, 6 years.
5, 6 years.
They're not at 7.
So you have to be aware of it.
I use my face to authenticate, then they kidnap me. Like, what do I do then? Like, how do you, okay, because now it's a trend like at home where they'll pick you up, put you in a car, and then they'll start transferring monies out. Your face is there, like they have it, and they just show.
Yeah.
So how does one then, they will uninstall app now?
Your loss, no.
Your loss?
No, the bank will,
The
the bank will pay you back because you've done all the measures. Sorry. You've done all the measures and it was a crime against you. So they'll,
Or can I get up to back my money?
yeah, but you've done all the measures, you've followed. So
But we'll investigate if you didn't plan that kidnap.
We've got 2 people from the bank.
But so the government and insurance companies, there are ways to manage risk, right? So there are ways to manage your risk. But it's a reality, right? Even if you don't have millions. So I got stopped by police. They took me to an ATM. It was fake police, fake uniform. Took me to an ATM and they made me withdraw money. Right? So I didn't have enough money to the bodyguard, but I had enough money for them to want it. So that's why you see the super rich, they've got the bodyguards. I mean, they know if you don't have the bodyguard, if you don't have I had a colleague who decided that he will not do smartphone banking. He had that much money, he would go to the bank. He would disable anything, no online banking, nothing. Have you seen the movie with the Swiss banks where you walk in and
You get taken to the back.
to the bank, a big office? Yeah, if you've got that much money, that's what you do, right?
Isn't it very rich?
I mean, when you get that rich, that's what you do, right? And most of them don't say have the money is in different forms, and it's, you know, you've got your private banker, the other things that you do to protect the money. So I will took my car for a car wash, and I washed the car properly, and I thought I forgot something, so I drove back, and the guy came back and says, "Oh, by the way, you dropped your flash drive." Right? And they give it to me. It should have clicked in my mind that, yo, this is dangerous. Because if you've got an unknown flash drive, don't plug it into your computer. Don't. And it looked like my flash drive, it was my car. I just brought it back there. So I took it and I plugged it somewhere. You know? And that's me, I'm a professional. I should know better. Right? That's how they break into a lot of the banks and a lot of the, so that's how they used to. Banks are very clever now. They will not actually let you, that flash drive won't work when you plug it in. So the guys, they continuously find new ideas to break into your system. So remember confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Make sure whatever you have is available to you. You shouldn't have access to something. Keep it confidential. And integrity is about actual values that are involved. Right? Keep your cell phone safe. Even if you've got passwords, etc., they might just wait a few months until there's a crack and still have access to it. Cancel your bank account, change your passwords. If anything happens, do what you have to. Change. So that the point in time between when they got your device and when they get in, you should have changed enough things that whatever they've done won't have a major impact. So that's mitigation. And companies have got entire teams of cybersecurity professionals to look after all of these things. So that concludes my speech.